Have you ever lost something so dear to you that it felt like your world was crumbling? Maybe it was a relationship you cherished, an opportunity you had longed for, or a dream that seemed within reach but suddenly slipped away. The pain of loss can be overwhelming, leaving you wondering, why me? Why now? What did I do wrong? But what if I told you that what you lost wasn't taken away to hurt you but to guide you? What if this loss is not a punishment but a sign, an opportunity for something greater? Take a moment to reflect. Sometimes we hold on so tightly to things that may be blocking our path to a better, more fulfilling journey. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows what lies ahead, even when we can't see it. There's a hidden reason behind every delay, every closed door, and every challenge. These moments, though painful, carry lessons that can transform our lives if we're willing to embrace them. In today's discussion, we're going to uncover the profound wisdom behind why Allah takes certain things away from us. By the end of this journey, you'll not only understand these hidden reasons, but also find hope, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose in your life. Let's dive in. Let's be honest. When something is taken away from us, the first feeling we often experience is confusion or even anger. You may have asked yourself questions like, why did this happen to me? Did I do something wrong? Doesn't Allah know how much this meant to me? These are natural and human responses to loss. We've all been there, feeling helpless, frustrated, and searching for answers that don't seem to come. Maybe it was a relationship you thought would last forever, or a job opportunity you worked tirelessly for, only to see it slip through your fingers. Or perhaps you've prayed endlessly for something, but it feels like the heavens remain silent. These moments can feel isolating, as though the world is moving forward, but you're stuck. But here's the truth, you are not alone in this struggle. Everyone experiences moments of loss, setbacks, or unanswered prayers. Even the prophets, those beloved by Allah, faced hardships and moments of loss. Prophet Yusuf, was thrown into a well by his own brothers before rising to a position of great power and wisdom. Prophet Musa, was separated from his family and faced countless trials before leading his people to freedom. What do their stories teach us? They remind us that Allah's plan often includes moments of difficulty, but these moments are never without purpose. The pain you feel is real, but it is also temporary. Behind every loss is a hidden blessing waiting to unfold, if you allow yourself to trust in Allah's wisdom. You might not see it now, but every delay, every rejection, and every unanswered prayer is part of a larger picture. A picture where Allah is crafting something far greater than what you had envisioned for yourself. Take a moment to reflect on this. How many times have you wanted something so badly, only to look back years later and realize that losing it was actually a blessing in disguise? Perhaps that job wasn't the right fit, or that relationship wasn't meant to bring you lasting happiness. Remember, your struggles are not a sign that Allah has forgotten you. On the contrary, they are a sign of His closeness. Allah is molding you, teaching you, and preparing you for something better. You are not alone in this journey. Let's explore this together and uncover the wisdom behind what was taken away. Let me share a story with you, one that might feel familiar. Imagine a young boy holding on to a small wooden toy. It's his favorite toy in the whole world, and he treasures it deeply. One day, his father takes the toy away. The boy cries, feeling hurt and confused. He wonders, why would my father do this? Doesn't he know how much I love that toy? What the boy doesn't realize is that his father took the toy not to hurt him, but to replace it with something far better. A beautifully crafted, intricate new toy that will bring him even more joy than he ever imagined. The boy's limited understanding doesn't allow him to see the bigger picture. he only feels the pain of what's been taken. Now, think about your own life. Sometimes we cling so tightly to things, relationships, jobs, dreams, that we don't realize they may not be what's truly best for us. And when Allah takes them away, it feels like our world is falling apart. But just like the father in the story, Allah removes things from our lives not to punish us, but to make space for something greater, something we might not even know we need. Prophet Yusuf's story, a real-life metaphor. The story of Prophet Yusuf, A.S., is one of the most powerful examples of this. As a young boy, Yusuf was beloved by his father but envied by his brothers. One day, his brothers threw him into a dark well, abandoning him out of jealousy. Imagine Yusuf's fear and confusion in that moment, alone in the darkness, wondering why this was happening to him. But Allah had a plan. That well, which seemed like the end, was only the beginning of Yusuf's journey. He was sold into slavery, faced false accusations, and endured years in prison. Yet, through every trial, Allah was guiding him. That dark well led him to Egypt, where he eventually became a trusted advisor to the king, saving an entire nation from famine. The well wasn't a punishment. It was a doorway to Yusuf's greater purpose. If Yusuf hadn't been taken from his father, he wouldn't have fulfilled his destiny. Think about this in your own life. What dark wells have you faced? Perhaps they weren't meant to bury you, but to plant you, so you could grow into something greater. The farmer's metaphor. Let's consider another analogy, the farmer and his field. A farmer spends months preparing the soil, planting seeds, and waiting for the crops to grow. But during this process, he has to pull out weeds, sometimes even uprooting plants that seem healthy but could harm the overall harvest. To an outsider, it might look like the farmer is destroying his field, but in reality, he's protecting it. He's ensuring that the soil is ready to produce the best possible harvest. When Allah removes something from your life, it's like the farmer pulling out weeds. It might feel like a loss in the moment, but it's clearing the way for something better to grow. A personal reflection. Think back to a time when you desperately wanted something, but it didn't work out. Maybe it was a job you thought was perfect, or a relationship you believed was meant to last forever. At the time, the loss might have felt unbearable. But now, looking back, can you see how that loss led to something better? Maybe that job would have held you back, or that relationship wasn't meant to bring you the happiness you deserve. Allah's plan isn't always easy to understand in the moment, but with time, the wisdom behind it becomes clear. The key. Takeaway. The losses we experience are not random or meaningless. They are part of Allah's divine plan, carefully crafted to guide us toward something better. Just like the boy in the story who couldn't see the better toy waiting for him, or the farmer who clears the weeds to protect his field, we must trust that Allah knows what's best for us. Remember, every loss, every delay, every setback is preparing you for something greater. The challenge is to have patience and trust in the process, even when it doesn't make sense. When something dear to you is taken away, it can leave a void that feels impossible to fill. But this moment, as difficult as it seems, can also be a turning point in your life, a chance to reflect, grow, and align yourself with Allah's greater plan. Here are actionable steps to help you navigate these challenges and transform loss into growth. 1. Acknowledge your feelings with honesty. It's okay to feel hurt, confused, or even angry when you experience loss. These emotions are natural and valid. The first step to moving forward is to acknowledge what you're feeling without suppressing it. How to practice this? Take a quiet moment to sit with your emotions. Write them down in a journal or speak to a trusted friend. Avoid blaming yourself or others. Instead, frame your thoughts as, This is hard, but I trust there's a purpose behind it. Why? This matters. Ignoring your emotions only builds resentment. Acknowledging them is the first step to healing and finding clarity. 2. Strengthen your connection with Allah. Loss can feel isolating, but it's also an opportunity to draw closer to Allah. When something is taken away, turn to Him for comfort and guidance. How to practice this? Daily dua. Begin your day by asking Allah for strength and clarity. A simple dua like, Ya Allah, grant me patience and trust in your plan, can make a huge difference. Prayer. Make a habit of praying all 5 daily prayers on time. If you're already consistent, consider adding sunnah or tahajjud prayers to deepen your connection. Quran. Recitation. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily reading or listening to the Quran. Reflect on verses that remind you of Allah's wisdom, such as, and perhaps you dislike a thing, and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing, and it is bad for you, and Allah knows while you know not. Quran 2:16. Why this matters. Strengthening your connection with Allah helps you see the bigger picture and find peace, even in uncertainty. 3. Reframe your perspective on loss. Instead of viewing loss as a punishment, try to see it as a redirection, a step toward something better. How to practice this? Reflect on past losses in your life and the lessons or blessings that came from them. Ask yourself, what might Allah be protecting me from? What opportunities could this loss create? Remind yourself that Allah's wisdom is far greater than ours. Indeed, my Lord is near and responsive. Quran 11:61. Why this matters. Shifting your perspective helps you move from frustration to trust, reducing the emotional burden of loss. 4. Focus on small, consistent actions. When life feels overwhelming, small actions can help you regain a sense of control and purpose. How to practice. This, gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what remains. Acts of kindness. Help someone in need, whether it's through charity, a kind word, or simply listening. Self-care. Routines. Prioritize sleep, healthy eating, and regular exercise to maintain physical and emotional well-being. Why this matters. Consistency, even in small actions, creates momentum and fosters resilience during tough times. 5. Seek knowledge and reflect on stories of the prophets. The stories of the prophets are filled with examples of loss, patience, and eventual triumph. Learning from their experiences can provide comfort and guidance. How to practice this. Study the life of Prophet Yusuf, A.S., and how his years of hardship led to immense blessings. Reflect on Prophet Musa, A.S., and how he overcame trials with trust in Allah. Watch Islamic lectures or read books that focus on coping with challenges through faith. Why this matters. The experiences of the prophets remind us that even the greatest of people faced struggles, and their trust in Allah carried them through. 6. Surround yourself with positive influences. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. Surround yourself with people who encourage you to stay patient and hopeful. How to practice this. Spend time with family or friends who uplift and inspire you. Join a local or online Islamic group where you can share experiences and seek advice. Limit exposure to negativity, whether it's toxic relationships or disheartening media. Why this matters. Positive influences keep you grounded and remind you that you're not alone in your journey. 7. Trust the process and embrace patience. Patience is not passive. It's an active choice to trust Allah's timing and keep moving forward. How to practice. This, when feelings of impatience arise, recite, Verily, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. Practice deep breathing or mindfulness when overwhelmed by anxiety or frustration. Keep a small note or reminder in your space that says, Allah's timing is perfect. Why this matters. Patience transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and strengthens your faith in Allah. 8. Take the next step. The journey of healing and growth begins with action. Even the smallest step forward can lead to profound transformation. How to practice this. Start with one action from this list today, whether it's making a dua, journaling, or reciting Quran. Commit to consistency, knowing that progress is more important than perfection. Why this matters. Taking action builds momentum and reinforces your trust in Allah's plan. Final reflection. Your loss is not the end, it's a new beginning. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to clarity, peace, and the blessings Allah has planned for you. Trust in His wisdom, and let these actionable steps guide you on your journey. It's natural to feel overwhelmed when something important is taken away from you. The loss can stir emotions like sadness, anger, or even despair. These feelings often lead to questions like, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this? But here's the truth, your emotions are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign that you care deeply, and they are part of the process Allah uses to shape and guide you. Acknowledging the pain. First, let's recognize that it's okay to feel hurt. Even the prophets experienced moments of deep sorrow. Prophet Yaqub, A.S., cried for years after losing his son, Yusuf, A.S. Yet, he remained steadfast in his trust in Allah, saying, Indeed, I only complain of my suffering and my grief to Allah, and I know from Allah that which you do not know. Quran 12:86. Your pain is valid, but it's also a sign that something greater is at work. Loss creates a space for growth, reflection, and a deeper connection with Allah. By embracing your emotions rather than suppressing them, you allow yourself to heal in a way that strengthens your faith. Reframing emotional struggles. Instead of viewing struggles as barriers, try to see them as stepping stones. Allah often removes things from our lives not to harm us, but to guide us towards something better. Think of your challenges as a mountain, difficult to climb, but once you reach the top, the view is breathtaking. Reflect on Allah's promise. Verily, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. This verse reminds us that no matter how heavy the burden feels, relief is always near. Your current struggle is temporary, logically, and Allah is preparing you for the ease and blessings that will follow. The role of dua and surrender. One of the most powerful ways to navigate emotional struggles is through dua. When you feel like you've reached your limit, turn to Allah and pour your heart out to Him. Speak to Him as if you're speaking to a close friend, sharing your fears, hopes, and frustrations. How to use dua to ease emotional pain. Begin with gratitude, thanking Allah for the blessings you still have. Ask for clarity, strength, and patience. A simple yet powerful dua is, O Allah, I seek refuge in you from worry and grief. End with trust. Ya Allah, I leave my affairs in your hands. Growth through struggles. Loss and challenges are opportunities for growth. They force us to pause and reflect on our priorities, values, and connection with Allah. Sometimes we are so attached to what we've lost that we fail to see the doors Allah is opening for us. A reflection. Exercise. Ask yourself, what has this loss taught me about myself and my faith? How can I use this experience to grow closer to Allah? Write down 3 lessons you've learned from a past struggle. You'll likely find that the pain you endured then shaped you into the stronger person you are today. Finding comfort in Allah's plan. Even when we don't understand why something has happened, we can find comfort in knowing that Allah's plan is always for our benefit. As humans, our perspective is limited. We see only the present, while Allah sees the entire picture. Think of a child who cries when their favorite toy is taken away, not realizing their parent is replacing it with something far better. In the same way, Allah's wisdom is beyond our comprehension. Trusting His plan doesn't mean the pain disappears, but it brings peace in knowing that your struggles have a purpose. Supporting yourself through the process. Surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who uplift you and remind you of Allah's wisdom. Take small steps. Whether it's making dua, reading Quran, or simply taking a walk, small actions help you stay grounded during tough times. Be kind to yourself. Healing takes time. Avoid self-blame and give yourself permission to grieve and grow at your own pace. Final thought. Remember, emotional challenges are not punishments, they are opportunities. They remind us of our reliance on Allah and help us grow into stronger, more faithful individuals. As you navigate your struggles, hold on to this truth. Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. He knows your strength even when you doubt it yourself. You are not alone, and you are not forgotten. Trust the process, and trust in Allah's infinite wisdom. Relief and blessings are closer than you think. Navigating loss and challenges is not a one-time effort. It's a continuous journey. Building consistency and momentum is the key to turning pain into progress and finding long-term growth. The secret lies in taking small, deliberate steps each day rather than expecting instant change. Start small, stay consistent. When dealing with emotional or spiritual struggles, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the thought of making big changes. But remember, Allah values consistent efforts, no matter how small. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are consistent, even if they are small." How to practice this? Begin with manageable habits, such as reciting one verse of the Quran daily, or spending 5 minutes in quiet reflection. Build on these small actions over time, allowing them to grow into sustainable routines. Create a routine of reflection. Loss often pushes us to reflect on our lives, and building a habit of regular reflection can help you maintain clarity and focus. How to practice this? Set aside time each week to evaluate your progress. Ask yourself, what have I learned from my challenges this week? What steps have I taken to grow closer to Allah? Write these reflections in a journal to track your journey over time. Discipline over motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you moving forward. Discipline is about committing to small actions, even when you don't feel like it, because you trust in the long-term benefits. How to practice this? Choose a specific time each day for spiritual practices like prayer, dua, or Quran recitation. Treat this time as non-negotiable. Use reminders such as setting an alarm or placing a sticky note on your desk to stay consistent. Celebrate small wins. Every small step you take is a victory worth celebrating. Acknowledging these wins helps you stay motivated and reminds you that progress is being made, even if it's slow. How to practice this? At the end of each day, reflect on one positive thing you accomplished, no matter how small. Thank Allah for giving you the strength to take that step, reinforcing gratitude and trust in His guidance. Lean on your community. Consistency becomes easier when you have support. Surround yourself with people who share your values and encourage you to keep growing. How to practice this? Join a local or online group focused on personal or spiritual growth. Share your journey with trusted friends or family members, creating accountability and encouragement. The long-term vision building consistency isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. Over time, these small, consistent efforts will accumulate, creating a foundation of spiritual strength and emotional resilience. Remember, Allah sees every step you take, no matter how small, and He rewards those who strive for growth with sincerity and patience. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. Each small effort brings you closer to the blessings Allah has prepared for you. A hopeful reflection. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed. The challenges, the losses, the unanswered prayers, they're not random. They're not punishments. They are part of a divine plan, crafted by Allah who knows you better than you know yourself. Think about it. Every loss is a lesson, every delay a doorway, and every challenge a chance to grow. Just as the darkest nights give way to the brightest dawns, the struggles you face today are preparing you for something greater tomorrow. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." Quran 94:6. This isn't just a promise, it's a reminder that the ease you're seeking is already on its way. Your patience, your trust, and your effort are paving the path toward it. The call to action. Now is the time to act. Don't let the wisdom you've gained stay as words on a page or ideas in your mind. Take one small step today toward embracing Allah's plan for you. Start by making a dua, asking Allah for clarity, strength, and patience. Reflect on a loss or challenge you've faced and consider what lesson it might hold. Commit to one consistent habit, whether it's reciting Quran, offering prayer on time, or practicing gratitude daily. Remember, change doesn't happen all at once. It's the small, sincere efforts that create the most profound transformations. A final word of motivation. You are not alone on this journey. Allah is with you every step of the way, guiding you, protecting you, and preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Trust His wisdom, even when the path seems unclear. As you move forward, hold on to this truth. What is with Allah is better and more lasting. Quran 16:96. May Allah grant you peace, strength, and the ability to see His signs in every challenge. Start today, trust in Him, and watch as your struggles transform into blessings.